only have managed to score 12 goals in those 7 games, but 5 of them was coming against a game against St. Martin's. An early corner kick here for the Trailblazers, and to be doing the honors is number 30, Montana Hadley, your senior defender. It delivers. Lancers get ahead on it. Goldsmith kicks it back in, hoping for something to happen, and it's bobbled around a little bit, but quickly recovered by the goalkeeper, Sarah Escobedo. Dixie wearing their all whites today. White tops, white shorts with their white socks, and the Lancers with their navy blue tops, navy blue shorts, and their navy blue socks. And that goes out of bounds for a Trailblazer throw-in. And a little bit different uniform here from our goalkeeper, Felicity Tarr, wearing the neon yellow, trying to stand out. Kick the ball to me. You can see me, kick it to me. I know if I was out there on that pitch, it would be extremely distracting. Maybe it's a tactic, maybe it's worked in the past against this team. I don't know, but either way, it's pretty eye-catching. As Kylie Land gets away with the ball, passes it upfield to Jurado. Jurado looking, getting pressured. Jurado passes it away. As that is Mertz heading it out of there. As it's bobbling around, Tarr couldn't get a hand on it, but however the Lancers do kick it out, and that is a Trailblazer goal kick. Back and forth here early in the first 6 minutes of this match. While I was doing my introductions for Dixie, they were already down attacking on the other side of the field, but quickly changed of possession here early as Tarr takes the goal kick. As that's kicked back into the middle. Bailey Kroll there to stop any damage. Quickly controlled. Looking for that through ball, and nobody is there as that goes out for another Trailblazer throw-in. It is pretty warm out there. However, most of the stand are covered from the sun. So, however, it is in the high 80s, about 87, 88 degrees outside right now. With the shade, we'll make it about 10 degrees cooler, and you'll be feeling just fine. Dixie State Athletics strives on other teams to be able to support other teams, as right below me sits the Dixie State men's baseball team, as they are here for probably a team bonding moment, as they're here to support their Lady Trailblazers. Men's baseball extremely successful last season, as they made it all the way to regionals. But however, they did lose a bunch of seniors. So the Trailblazers keep passing it around, as they are so good at. Quickly pressured is Hunter, and Hunter's looking for Jurado. Jurado lets it go. There's a shot on goal, and it's kicked right to Escobedo. Alexa Estridge with the shot on goal. Escobedo looking, boots it away. Shorter punt than usual. Estridge is right there to kick it over to Murdoch. Murdoch kicks it over to Jurado. Jurado hustling, fighting off 2 defenders. Hips one off, has the ball in the corner. No one there to help. Tori Page is the nearest attacker, as that one's kicked back out to Montana Hadley. And Hadley looking in for a long ball, sends that one in. It's on frame, and Escobedo is there to pick it up once again. Dixie playing a little bit of long ball here right now. Not their usual tactic, if you must say. They like to play a lot of the 1-2 game and get it inside of the box, but so far they're playing the long ball, maybe trying to catch the Lancers off guard. flick attempt over there by Urado, as Hadley is over there to pick it up. As Hadley drops this one back all the way to Tar, and Tar for the reset. Tar kicks it back up, but kicks it straight to the Lancers. That will be Jordan Dow with the pickup. Dow dribbling. She takes a shot on goal, and that one goes into the net from 25 yards out. Wow, that was a rocket, as I don't think Tar was expecting that at all. I wasn't expecting that. That was an incredible shot. Incredible awareness by Dow. In disbelief, the goalkeeper for Dixie, as she's saying, I wasn't expecting it. You guys are letting her dribble up. Which the Trailblazers, they can't afford to, let free dribbles happen like that, because shots like that will happen. As that was a laser into the top right corner. As I will get back to you on who it was Jordan Dow. I was correct. As Goldsmith loses the ball, Urado, as the ball gets sent for a long ball, front flip Mertz is there. Jordan Dow picking up the ball again, making the defender miss, sending it back into the middle. As there's danger in there again, and Tar picks it up with the collision on the play. Maybe a little bit of anger from Tar on that one. Relentless is what the Trailblazers need to be feeling like right now. Down early 1-0 here in the first half. Just need to be relentless with the pressure, not allowing a single touch on the ball. As the Lancers kick that one all the way back, the Trailblazers will let that one trickle out of bounds for a throw-in. And here we go. We got front flip Mertz doing the honors. She's all the way back in her defensive side, so I haven't seen her do one on her side of the field. So let's see if she goes ahead and does it. Up, and there it is. There's the front flip. As Darian Murdoch tries to make an effort towards the ball. Pac West Player of the Year last year. And I got a chance to hear her on the radio the other day on ESPN 97.7. And she is very, very humble. She's always appreciating her teammates. She's always giving them the credit. She's very unselfish. And she's just so thankful to have such, amazing teammates to have on her team. And she gives all the credit to them. She doesn't, say, oh, I'm the best. Everything is part of me. As that one barely misses the post, and that goes out for a Trailblazer goal kick. But going back to Murdoch, she is the leading goal scorer this year. She has 8 goals, and she's the centerpiece of the Trailblazer offense. So when you hear a leader like that say that it's all her teammates, that builds a lot of chemistry. It makes people like you, as that is called a foul on the play for a Trailblazer free kick, as Murdoch got tripped up there for a little bit. Let's see what the Trailblazers' approach here is this time. We got Montana Hadley, and we got Kylie Lamb. And also coming over is Kami Hunter. Maybe a little bit of trickery, trying to get them to jump the wall a little bit. As we do have the traditional 2 defenders on the post. As that one's playing short all the way to Lamb. Lamb making a defender miss with the shot! And it just misses out wide. That was a good look. She had the shot. You always want to take those shots on top of the box. As that one just misses. She didn't have another touch, so she had to take it. Looks like Sydney Rocket is our center back for the Lancers tonight, as she did the goal kick. As that one's kicked out to Goldsmith. Goldsmith gets tripped up. No call on the play, and there's Jordan Dow again. Jordan Dow looking. Jordan Dow's got space. This is where she made a shot last time. Passes it back out wide. Looking, crosses it back in, and it was called offsides. That would be Brooke Leitenberg. A good look. Looks to be just barely offside, however. In case you missed it earlier today, our Dixie State women's volleyball team had a clean sweep over the Dominican College Penguins, as 3 easy sets for the Trailblazers, no problem, as they improved to 4-8 on the year. And for the away game, however, our Dixie State Trailblazer football team got the win against Western State, 15-12. Just inched it out today, but got the win. That's all that matters. Congratulations to those guys out there, as they improved to 2-2 in Pac West play. As that's Felix making defenders miss. Kicks it off of Bailey Kroll for a Lancer goal kick. Lancer corner kick. For those of you that are just joining us, you did miss an early goal from the Lancers. Jordan Dow from about the 20-yard line just took a rip, catching the Trailblazer keeper off guard and went into the back of the net. As that one sent in, got a head on it immediately, and quickly out by Tori Page, as that one's kicked back into Tar. A little bit of popcorn ball going on around here in the middle, as Kami Hunter comes over here and gets possession. Warming up on the sideline for the Trailblazers is number 33, Brooklyn Vogelsberg. Looking to get some early action in here, as Murdoch fights off another defender. And that's Lamb passing it over to Hadley. Back over to Lamb. Gets intercepted. Felix loses the ball. There's Mertz making the stop. Mertz again. Sends it up to Murdoch. With the long ball, looking for Murdoch. Murdoch bouncing the ball around, spins around a defender, and that is booted out of bounds by Christian Engel. As we do have a substitution, however, and coming off the field will be Capri Goldsmith. And coming on is Brooklyn Vogelsberg. As you get Bailey Kroll kicking it up over to Tori Page, and Tori Page making an effort to get possession. Lancers kick it up, as that is a beautiful 1-2 ball, as there's nobody on the outside to get that. Waiting for attackers, sending the ball in, bouncing it around, and Lamb kicks it out for any danger, as that goes out for a Lancers throw-in. I was looking at the standings a little bit earlier today, and I noticed that Dixie is 4th in the conference at 2-1. But if you look at the total points, they are number 1. They are sitting at 6-2. However, Azusa Pacific is 3-0-1 in conference play, so that does put them at the top of the conference, but they have lost every other game outside of the conference. So maybe a little bit of cupcake non-conference games for Azusa Pacific. And of course, you do have Gal Baptist, who is 2-0 in conference play, 4-3 overall. So Cal Baptist is sitting in at second place, tied with Fresno Pacific, who I believe is playing right now, Fresno Pacific. There are a couple games going on today in the Pac West Conference. As that one goes out for a Lancer throw-in. Making the stop, sending it up to Urado. As Page is there to pick it back up. Page looking. Page sending it out wide to Vogelsberg. Vogelsberg attempts to send a through ball, and Escobedo is there to pick up the garbage. Escobedo telling her defenders to move up. As the sun's got to be a factor here for the defenders on those high balls, looking right up into the sun. Shouldn't have been any problem for Tar, but the sun wasn't in her eye, but I think it just got her off guard. As we do have two games going on today. So we had Point Loma coming over the Notre Dame Dana Muir 2-0. And then we have Concordia beating Fresno Pacific 3-1. So a couple matchups that's in favor of Dixie so far today. As that one's battling around the box. Lancer's trying to save it from a corner. However, it just sneaks out for a Trailblazer corner kick. Going on across the field is women's softball, as they had a doubleheader today. First one was against the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah at 1 o'clock. Score is still pending. And going on right now, I believe they are going up against the Utes of Utah. So a couple of Division I schools that the Trailblazers are going up against over there. And our softball team over there is no joke. They do get a lot of wins, and they do compete with Division I schools, which is scary for the rest of the Pac West. As the Lancers regain possession, but Hadley there to pick it up. Hadley back up to Page. Murdoch takes over. Murdoch sending it back over to Page. Page being double teamed right now. Somehow manages to get by both of them and falls to the ground. What sort of looked like a dive. I think she was just trying to get the call. Good gamesmanship. If I was the referee, I don't think I would have called it. But play on. It's a Trailblazer free kick. As I believe we got Kylie Lamb over there setting up. And that is Hadley sending it in. The top of the 18. Misjudged. Murdoch trying to kick it up over there. Murdoch gets a deflection, and that will go out for a Lancer goal kick. As we do have a substitution coming in for the Lancers. That's going to be number 12, Miranda Martinez. The junior midfielder from San Marcos, California. Coming off for her is number 20, Brooke Littenberg, the junior from Chino, California. As that is Rocket taking the kick. As Page goes down, as she might be hurt on the play, referee calling time. Giving a yellow card to the Lancers. I didn't quite see that there, but let's see what the official ruling is. It looks like it might be Hoku Afong, it looks like. From what I see, I could be wrong. As that's Hadley taking the kick once again. Sends that one inside of the 18. Could be trouble. Settled by the Lancers. Trailblazers get it back. Sends it back in. And a collision inside of the box. That is Vogelsberg and Escobedo. And Escobedo is down. She may be seriously injured on this play. It might have looked like it could have been knee to knee, which those are always brutal. As referee does call injury time. As Cal Baptist has managed to already get 6 shots on goal here in the first 24 minutes of the game. And indeed it was Hoku Afong picking it up, the yellow card. And some stats for all you nerds out there. Leading assist leader on the season is Tana Singh, 7 assists on the season in 8 games. And of course, your leading goal scorer is the player of the year, Darian Murdoch, with 8 goals on the season. She also leads the team with shots by a long shot. She's got 40 shots on goal. 40 shots total and 22 shots on goal. The next that's more shots on goal than shots by the next teammate, which is Jamie Urado at 17. So a majority of the offense does evolve around Darian Murdoch. And Darian Murdoch will be missed, as this is her senior year. Interesting to see what Coach Bingham, what her approach will be for next season, as her leading goal scorer, player of the year, will no longer be with the team. As Escobedo comes up, doing a little bit of stretching, and rockets this one away. Vogelsberg to pick it up. Vogelsberg over to Hunter. Hunter back down to Vogelsberg. Kroll picks it up, makes a defender miss. Kroll looking. As they make a step to the ball, and Lancers weren't ready for that. Goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. That one is thrown in by Estridge. Mertz right there to make the defense. A missed touch goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. As Murdoch sends that up to Urado. Urado mistouches it. Sends it away. As Estridge is there, Mertz boots it away, hoping to get Murdoch in on the action. Murdoch heads it in. Urado's got the touch. And an amazing save by Escobedo, but yet it's not over, and that one is just missing the crossbar. A wonderful save by Escobedo as she comes out one-on-one on Urado. Urado just a split second too late on the touch, trying to get the flick over as Escobedo was diving down. Great awareness by Darian Murdoch as she does the head flicker into space, hoping Urado can capitalize on it, but however, just an exceptional play by Escobedo. Golden opportunity missed by the Trailblazers as Tori Page was trying to clean up the deflection. Just grazes the crossbar, however, as Rocket boots it away. Mertz kicks it back up to Estridge. Page get the ball again. Page looking, sends it back over. Hunter to Lamb, doesn't work. Playing it out wide. As that's Dow again. Maybe looking for a second one. Sends it in the middle. A heading attempt. However, no dice as Tar comes over and picks it up. dangerous play. Dow's been making some head scratching plays, but not in a bad way. Just like, wow, she did that. As that one is kicked down the line, out of reach for Urado, and that will go out for a Lancer throw-in. As that is a 50-50 challenge from both teams there. Trailblazers come away with it. Estridge looking for someone. Beating out two defenders. Gets it through. Urado trying to get it. Pushes the defender off. However, it still does go out for a Lancer throw-in, as we do have a substitution here for the Lancers. Number 11. Now, excuse me if I do say this wrong. I'm used to Hawaiian words. So I'm just going to go ahead and say this is Lanai Navarro, the junior forward, coming into the game. And number 7, Jordan Dow, getting a breather, as she has done a well done job here in the first 27 minutes of the match, getting the goal from 35 yards out officially, and nearly getting an assist, as that one's kicked out by Lamb. Lamb playing the stopper position tonight, as that's Kroll kicking over just out of the reach of Vogelsberg. Lancer throw-in. As that's Fefalova to do the throw-in for the Lancers. Looking short, instead goes long to Desiree Felix. Felix making a player miss. Sending it long. Kroll there. Kroll waiting for the defender. Possibly Shield. Just kicks it out, playing the safe ball for a Lancer throw-in. Let's see if anybody on the Lancers has the throw-in arms to get it inside of the box, as that is a third part of the attack offense. Getting it into the middle of the box. As she'll just play it short. As a great shield by Kroll, and that goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in, as we have two substitutions coming in for the Trailblazers. Number 21, Jill Bennett, and number 24, Kelsey Cook, coming out for them. It's number 11, Kami Hunter, and number 90, Jamie Urado. A couple more fresh set of legs here. Possibly finish up the first half, trying to equalize it for the half. As that's Tori Page on the outside. Defender draped all over her. Looking for someone. No one's moving. As she sends it up the line. Good defense by Engel. Hadley boots it up. Trying to get Jill Bennett. Jill Bennett's out there. She could make this cross in. Sends it in the middle. No dice, however, it does go out for a Trailblazer corner kick. Lancers unable to save that one, as Montana Hadley, the usual corner kick taker, to do the honors. As the Lancers do have one attacker in between the stopper and the sweeper. Maybe hoping for a quick counterattack. Hadley gets that one in, heads it back in, and that's Murdoch, and it hits the field goal post. Great idea, just a little bit too above the ball on that one. I'm sorry, below it. Too below it on the play, as it goes way over for Lancer. Goal kick. As that's Lamb kicking it back over to Hadley. Hadley looking for the long ball, but quickly stuffed by number 2, Rebecca Romero. 5'2" sophomore. out of Riverside, California. As Murdoch tries to get the ball back inside of the goal. Hadley has been all over the field today, making a defender miss, sending it back in the middle. No dice. As Lamb gets pressured, Hadley drops it back down to Mertz. Mertz looking for the switch. Sends it over to Kroll. Kroll sending it long. Doesn't quite make it. As that's Felix making a dribble and gets collided on the play. Unintentional, of course, so no card issued. But a quick little burst of speed from Felix as she had two defenders on her. And Tar setting up her wall. This one is about the 21-yard line, so it's about 30 yards out. I'm going to go ahead and guess that. "31 yards. Let's see if they take a shot on goal. There's one fake. There's two fakes. The shot on the goal, and Tar handles it nice. Not even a bobble. She cannons this one away all the way to the 30-yard line of the other team. As that's Lamb again making a move. Finds Vogelsberg on the outside. Looks for the open man. That's Jill Bennett. Jill Bennett looking for Murdoch. And Escobedo is there to make the diving effort. Just a step too slow for the Trailblazers today. They're just missing their passes by one step. As that one goes off of Romero for a Trailblazer throw-in. The 8-minute mark in the game, the Lancers got on the scoreboard early with a goal from Jordan Dow. She just ripped it from 35 yards out, outstretched the goalkeeper, and into the back of the net. Other than that, it's been all defense. Not a couple dangerous plays on both ends of the field, but for the most part, it has been a 50-50 game. Not much separating these two teams. The Lancers a little bit on a roll right now on a 3-game winning streak coming into this game. Wins coming against St. Martin's, Hawaii Hilo, Hawaii Pacific. Outscoring their opponents in that stretch 8-1. If it's broke, don't fix it, as that looks to be the case here today as well. As Vogelsberg kicks it up, doesn't quite get it, and deflected off the Lancers. A quick throw for the Trailblazers over to Bennett. As that is Estridge trying to get possession. And Lamb kicks it up. Bennett there again, showing some speed. And Bennett wins the ball back, tries to send it in, sends it in the middle, just misses Murdoch and goes to Escobedo. Leading goal scorer for the Lancers is Miranda Martinez, number 12. And she's not even a starter. She is a role player. And she's the leading goal scorer with 3 goals. And she's also the leading assist leader with 2. Coach, why is she not starting? I shouldn't be complaining. As Tori Page is there, just misses the header. As that one goes out for Trailblazer, throwing Hadley to take the quick throw over to Page. following the women's game tonight is the men's side of the field as they take on Cal Baptist as well. Game starting at 7 o'clock. It will be a lot cooler. It is supposed to be a little bit chilly tonight. I know I did say that the other day. And now here we are sitting in 85-degree weather. It is a little bit warm up here. As a foul is called against the Trailblazers, the fans in disgust. That goes against Vogelsberg, and the fans do not like it, and they let the ref hear it. Vogelsberg says apologies and runs off, and play goes on. Doesn't try to argue. That's what all players should do on the field. Never try to question the ref. As the low tonight is supposed to be 74, so maybe you don't need a sweater for that. As another foul is awarded to the Lancers. As that one is about 5 yards, 6 yards out of the box. So a dangerous opportunity here for the Lancers. Potentially go up 2-0 before the half. As we have a 5-man wall here for Tar. As this one's a shot low and a good diving save by Tar as that one sneaks past the wall, going for the far corner. High risk, high reward shot. Is going to take the kick for the Lancers is number 6, Haley Whelan, a 5'4" senior. As the Lancers pack the box in with 8 attackers. Lancers get a foot on it, and that one goes out for a Trailblazer goal kick. As we do have a substitution for the Trailblazers coming onto the field. Number 17, Madeline Hansen. Coming off for her is the exhausted Tori Page. She's been running down that pitch all game long so far. As Tar to take the goal kick. As that one's flicked back, this could be trouble. Bennett gaining speed. As that is a questionable call from the sideline ref over there. Elbow to the back is what the official call was, but I didn't see it. And I played soccer my whole life, and I didn't see it. As it looks like a little bit of a little injury over there. As that is a free kick. Trouble for the Lancers. Estridge over there with the ball. Sends it back up to Murdoch. Murdoch flicking it over to Bennett. Bennett with that speed. Sends it back up to Murdoch. Murdoch one-on-one. And Simone Mack with the defense. Murdoch sending it back up. With the L. Sends it over to Estridge. Estridge flicks it in. And Bennett, all she had to do was stop it, turn around, and shoot. She probably thought Murdoch was doing an overlap and run. However, Escobedo is there. As she makes this one to midfield, as there was a handball called on that play. You couldn't have missed it. It's Hadley to do the honors. I think as a defender, You always want to take those free kicks, as that one's flicked on. However, Escobedo's there to pick it up. You always want to take those free kicks. And it's the only, if you are a true defender, and you don't take any shots, you don't make any attacking moves, it's a blessing to, get a free kick. Because it's like, hey, now I can finally, contribute to an attack. As I was blessed a couple of times back in my day with that. Took advantage of it, I'll tell you that. As Kroll, and there's a substitution on the play. Coming in is our assist leader, Tana Singley. Coming in for Kelsey Cook. Coming in for the Lancers is Michaela Miller. And she be coming in for the captain, Haley Whelan. As that one goes out of play for Atlanta. Oh. Center ref says that was off the Lancer. That's a Trailblazer throw-in. Deep throw, as that one's kicked out of bounds again. Trailblazers moving it up. As front flip, Mertz wants to do the throw-in. She wants to get this into the box, get an assist possibly, as she does her magic. As that one goes in the middle of the box, bouncing around. Bennett is there. Excuse me. That's Vogelsberg. Vogelsberg trying to get it, and it is taken away from her. As that goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in, and yep, you know it. Front flip Mertz over there once again. As this could be an opportunity for the Trailblazers, as she fakes everybody out, fakes me out. Wasn't expecting that one at all. As Singley tries to get control of the ball, and Bailey Kroll's there to do the reset. Makes someone miss, needs to pass it. As that is a foul against Miranda Martinez. As Kroll will be doing the kick. As Singley is there, giving it to Estridge. Estridge drops it back to Hadley. Hadley looking to send that one in. 3 attackers there. As Jill Bennett's there over to Murdoch. Murdoch kicking it around. Doesn't quite get the shot off. Vogelsberg there again. Sending it in. Diving effort by Escobedo. Couple shots on goal here for the Trailblazers. Good defense by the Lancers as Hadley takes out a defender and just runs off. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Not from the women's side. In the men's, you see it all the time. We make a foul, we run away. Luckily, she is okay on the play. That'd be Rebecca Romero going down. As it looks like the ref is coming over and giving Hadley a yellow. As she cleaned her out. If I was Hadley, I would have made sure she was okay. Try and help her up. Say I'm sorry. Maybe she wasn't sorry though. Who knows? But anything to prevent you from getting a card. You do anything. But the girl's less talkative towards the referees than the guys are. As that one's sent to space. It's going to be Navarro there. So that one's sent into the box, and Tar is there to pick it up. As we approach the 1 minute mark here in the first half, trying to get a late goal in to tie it up before the half. As Bennett is there again, takes a hit off the defender and goes down. Clock is still going. Play to Estridge. Estridge loses the ball.
1 minute remaining in the opening half.
Kroll tries to send it up forward. No dice. Miller there looking. Miller sends it. As that is a through ball, and Bailey Kroll misses it. It's a one-on-one effort, and Tar is there to pick it up. A fantastic save from the sophomore. as that was huge. Nobody there to help out Kroll. Kroll gets beat on the through ball, and Tar comes up big by stepping up. And she's probably going to have a word to her back line about that. The best opportunity the Lancers have had besides their shot on goal that went in. And they're just going to boot this around until the halftime whistle is called. And there it is. And there is your first half, ladies and gents. The Lancers up 1-0 over the Trailblazers on the lone goal from Jordan Dow. And that's where we stand here at the half. But don't go anywhere. We will be back in 15 minutes here on the Trailblazers Sports Network. Lady Trailblazers trail the Lancers of Cal Baptist 1-0. As the stadium filling up a little bit, an early attack from the Lancers as Tar picks that one up quickly down the field on the attack. As Tar kicks that one away. At the end of the first half, Trailblazers ended up with the same amount of shots on goal as towards the end of that first half. They started putting a little bit more pressure on the attacking third of the field as Page is there looking for somebody, anybody, no dice. As a touch saved on the sideline as that goes out, touched last by Mertz. Lancer throw in. Each team was issued 1 yellow card apiece. The Lancers with 6 saves, the Trailblazers with 4. Each team coming away with 7 fouls each. It's a pretty evenly matched game so far here in the first half. As this is a throw-in for the Lancers. That'd be Cora Jacoby to do the throw-in. As that one's battled off. As that is Felix going in and out of defenders. And Estridge there kicking it up. Back out to Page, back to Estridge. As Felix splits the defenders, making a move on goal. Gets the shot and Tar's there, doesn't pick it back up, and that goes in for a Lancer goal. Felix doing all the work there. As that goal just comes in 2 minutes into the first half, and the Trailblazers were caught off guard in that one, on that series of events. As Tar did make the initial save, and then however couldn't hold on to it, so Felix took advantage of that and pounded it away into the goal. Relentless is what I'd be telling my Trailblazers right now, as that is a off-target pass. As Page picks it back up. Page out wide to Hadley. Hadley sends it up. Maybe a little bit of a different approach is necessary for the Trailblazers, as the long ball most of the time wasn't panning out well. Maybe they need to play a little bit more tactically and getting some passes strung together and maybe getting a defender out of position. Anything but the long ball, because the long ball just isn't working out for them. The defenders are playing deep, and they're just not getting as many opportunities, many good opportunities, as the Trailblazers would like. As that goes out for a Lancer throw-in. An unfortunate early goal here for the Trailblazers, as that's exactly what they didn't need to start this half off. They needed to come out strong. They needed to come out with some confidence, and that second goal just, it deflates you, as that one barely goes out for a Trailblazer goal kick, as Tar will be doing the honors. Felix for the Lancers was coming out strong. I mean, she was making passes, she was moving, she was splitting defenders, and that's what you want out of a forward. You want to be able to rely on your attacker in one-on-one situations, and Felix came through for that. There were 3 defenders back there for the Trailblazers, and somehow they couldn't manage to get a foot in front of the ball. It was a little questioning on their end, but nonetheless, it was a goal suffered by the Trailblazers, and now we're sitting here at 2-0 here early in the second half, as Estridge on the right side of the field mispasses it. Felix sends another through ball, as that is an onside to Brooke Littenberg. Littenberg's there, takes a shot just inside of the post, but Tar is there to make the save. Maybe a little bit sleepy on the Trailblazer side to start off the second half. It's always hard to start off really fast. You're just coming out of halftime. You just had that 15-minute break. You lose your momentum. You lose your adrenaline. And it's hard to pick things back up, whether it's the start of the game or the start of the second half or even start of overtime. You know, it's it takes a lot of energy to be able to start off fast right out of the gates, and that's exactly what the Lancers have been doing so far here in the first 5 minutes of this. The ball has been on the Trailblazer defense side for nearly the entire half, as there is a Lady Trailblazer down on the turf. And it looks like it could be... Looks like it could be Bailey Kroll. And indeed it is. She gets up and runs it off. Looks to be okay. And a Lancer throw-in will continue. As she was kind of wondering what the heck was that. She just threw it right to the goalkeeper, and there was nobody running to the ball as Tar picks it up and looks to boot this one away. As Murdoch and Urado are both there. Quickly coming in for the Lancers be Haley Whelan. The senior captain, as that's a long ball in. Over to Murdoch. Murdoch couldn't quite get there, as that one is booted away by Maria Fefilova. As Kroll takes it down the left sideline again. Gets shielded off by a defender. No call. As that one goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. As we do have a substitution coming in for the Trailblazers. That'd be number 21, Jill Bennett. As she will be coming in for number 17, Madeline Hansen. Two early goals in each half for the Lancers. The difference maker here in this game. As Murdoch's there, couldn't quite get ahead on it. Urado gets bumped off by Christian Angle, as that one is kicked out for a Lancer goal kick. And this will be Simone Mack taking the kick. As that one is flicked over to Littenberg. Littenberg kicks it to Jordan Dow, who had that rocket earlier in the first half. As Crowley makes a defender miss, sends it up, but nobody's there. Once again, the Lady Trailblazers looking for that long ball, and it's just not there. You could get away with it in the first half. You know, fresh legs, you're not as fatigued. But in the second half, you better have some good endurance in order for that tactic to work. As Estridge is there to head it back. Murdoch there. Murdoch sending it over to Page on the right side. As that's Montana Hadley sending it up to Murdoch. Murdoch beats a defender, gets inside of the box, sent it in the middle. All time in the world is Murph on top of the box. I'm sorry, Jill Bennett that is. And that goes out of bounds for a Trailblazers throw-in. As, of course, you get front flip Mertz to do her work. I would have taken that shot if I was Jill Bennett. But maybe she was not confident with her left foot. But that's an opportunity that you must take. You know, not a defender within 8 to 10 yards of you. And as the Lancers try and shield that throw-in off, and Mertz gets the header again. Hopefully some trouble, and Escobedo is there to pick it up. It was a good cut by Murdoch, and finding her teammate wide open in the middle, but just couldn't capitalize on it. As Escobedo with a short punt. That's Hunter there, sending it back up to Murdoch. Murdoch covering a lot of ground here. As Page gets beat off the ball at the bottom of the screen. As that's tripped up, Estridge wins the battle there. Bailey Kroll. I'm sorry, that'd be Jill Bennett once again. As that's Tori Page sending the through ball in. Catches Murdoch off guard. Wasn't expecting it. But however, that is a Trailblazer throw-in, and again, who else but front flip Mertz? How awesome is it to be the other teammates, knowing that every time that Mertz throws in the ball, it could be a goal. Knowing that you were just one header away from being able to get it off of a throw-in. And that one goes right in the middle of the goal, flicked on. However, that did go off of a Lancer defender, and that goes out for a corner kick for the Trailblazers. And Hadley running over to the flag. Trailblazers knocking on the door. Let's see if they can get one in here right here on this corner. 10 minutes into the second half. Hadley signals, goes, and Escobedo gets a punch on it, bounces around. However, Hunter is right there, and it looks like it may have been a foul called on the play. Not sure by who. That's why we have referees. Maybe a handball, not sure what the official call was. Official says it was a foul, as that's a short kick, almost recovered by Urado. As Hadley kicks it back up to space, and nobody is there to recover that one. Maybe the Lady Trailblazers had some extra Wheaties. Maybe that's why they're probably thinking of the long ball. Hey, we got this extra form of energy, as there's a Lancer wide open in the middle of the field. One more touch, it could have flicked it on. As that would be Littenberg making the attempt, and you had Hoku Afong running on the left side. As you have Jill Bennett taking it down the left side of the field, beats two defenders with that speed, kicks it into Murdoch, and Murdoch's getting possession. Just too much pressure on her back, as the Lancers do kick it out, and that will be a Trailblazer throw-in. The Trailblazers are bound to get one in after all these throw-ins into the middle of the box. As that one's headed on, Murdoch there almost getting a foot on it. Estridge drops it back to Hadley, and Hadley sends this one in with the flick, and it is a golazo for the Trailblazers. Coach on the Lancers sideline asking for an offsides position. And the referees now are talking about it on the sideline. All the Lancers are saying it could have been offsides. As the referee is explaining to the coach that you had a defender on the line when that happened. And that is a goal awarded to the Trailblazers, exactly what they needed. They needed to bounce back. And a beautiful ball by Montana Hadley from the right back position, and Jamie Urado getting the toe tap in, as that is her fourth goal of the season. We got life for the Trailblazers now, as Urado comes off after scoring that goal. Didn't quite catch who came in for her. Now this is where the game intensifies. The Lancers are angry. The Trailblazers are trying to equalize it. And this is where the good game comes into play. As there is a trip on the play, however, not intentional, so no card. As the feet get tangled up between Kylie Lamb and Felix. As Simone Mack be kicking it. So that one sent in, flicked on. Trouble here for the Lancers. And Felix is there once again, as that one was bouncing around inside of the box. And Tar was being shielded off by her defenders, unable to make a play. And all of a sudden, it's 3-1. Wow. That was a great ball from Mac. A dangerous ball, not in the air, but bouncing around inside the box, and that is the most dangerous play that any defense can encounter with, is a bouncing ball inside of the box. You don't hesitate. You get that baby out of there. You don't wait. And coming onto the field is Shelby Christensen, and coming off would be Kylie Lamb. More of an attack approach here as a midfielder being subbed in for a defender now that they're down 3-1. And the Trailblazers sticking to the 3-back formation. Hadley on the outside going up against Hoku Afong. Afong loses it. Tori Page with the stop. Jacoby on the outside looking for a teammate. More possession here. Flicks it on it. No one's there but Tar. And Tar picks it up. Tough game for Tar here, as she had one in the first half, just get steamed by her, just absolutely lasered. And then in the second half, you have one that was a through ball, no help from the defense, couldn't do anything about it on the second deflection, as that one gets toe poked in. And then of course you get Urado and on the free kick from Hadley. And then you get the third goal, as that is a 1-2 ball, as that's Murdoch on the outside taking a shot from outside, and it's a diving effort from Escobedo. Makes the save. Murdoch looking for the inside post, but probably better off going to the outside, as Escobedo was hugging the left side of the goal. And then, of course, the Lancers' third goal on a bouncing free kick inside of the box. Tar unable to do anything about it. And that's where we are right now, with 30 minutes left in the half. As that's Page sending it outside to Estridge. Estridge gets a touch on it, keeps it in bounds. And that goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. As we have Capri Goldsmith coming in for Kami Hunter. And Goldsmith brings that speed. I've watched her in a couple of the previous games, and she just brings that quick speed that is so hard to find, especially in midfielders. You know, usually the wingers are the ones that bring that speed, or your center forwards. But as a midfielder, to have that speed it's a great advantage. Cal Baptist looking to stay undefeated in the Pac West. Trying to make it 4 in a row. It's front flip Mertz doing her thing with the defender right there. As that one goes straight to Escobedo. No one there to get ahead on it. Now, if I were the Trailblazers, there is no offside on throw-ins. So why not just stand right in front of the goalie? You're not offsides. And if you stand in front, the goalie can't make a play on it. And maybe that's just something that Casey Bingham is just not, maybe she just hasn't thought of it. Maybe it's not part of their game plan. But however, it doesn't hurt to try. You're down by 2 midway through the second half. You can have a little bit of fun with it. Maybe get lucky, as there's a shot on goal to Escobedo, and Tori Page is down on the ground. Gets right back up. Looks to be okay. As Escobedo with the ball telling her defenders to move up. She boots it away. Straight to Goldsmith. Goldsmith heads it over, and Jill Bennett is offsides. Obvious call. You couldn't have missed it. All you need is a hand to be considered offsides. Any part of your body. And the sideline ref can call it offsides. As Mack takes the kick once again. As Estridge just heads that away. Seems to be looping a little bit after that header. That wasn't a soft kick, and she looks to be shaking it off a little bit as it bounces off a page for a throw-in. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on over here by Jacoby, as we do have a substitute. We do have a substitute coming in for the Lancers. Is number 2, Rebecca Romero, a defender. So maybe a little bit more defensive approach as Hoku Afong comes out. And coming in for the Trailblazers is Tana Singley. And coming out is Estridge, as she did look like she was shaken up. Maybe gonna go see the trainer for some concussion protocols, as she didn't look okay. And Goldsmith just all over Felix. As you see on the bottom of the screen, the men's Pac West Player of the Year, Brian Baugh, doing his daily rituals, or weekly rituals, should I say, before a game. Always an exciting player to watch, as he is the anchor of that defense as they take on Cal Baptist after this game. As that goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. Lancers arguing. Goes back out to Goldsmith. Goldsmith tries to make a defender miss. Doesn't win. Sends it down the field on the left side. Mertz is there to take it away. Bailey Kroll there to pick it up. And that is deflected off a Trailblazer and out for a corner kick. Following today's game for the Lady Trailblazers, they do have a couple days off. So maybe they can look at the tape, see the things that they've done wrong, or see the things that they've done right, and maybe try and capitalize on this better, as this could possibly be their second loss in a row after coming off with 4 straight victories, 2 of them in Pac West play. This will be their last home game for a while, as they have had 5 straight home games, and coming up for them they got 4 road games. So a lot of road games coming up for the Lady Trailblazers, as they have Notre Dame, Dana Muir next week Saturday. Following that, they travel out to San Rafael, California to play Dominican College. Then after that, they travel to San Francisco to play at Academy of Art. And then they go play Holy Names in Hayward, California. So nice little Cali trip for the Trailblazers, as that one's hit out, only to be recovered. As it's bouncing around again, dangerous, hitting it back in, as that is a foul against the Lancers on Felix. For a second, I thought it was going to be on Vogelsberg, and I was going to say a penalty kick. As Goldsmith wins the ball. Goldsmith on the right side of the field, as that is quickly kicked out of bounds by Jacoby. And for the Lancers, following this road game, they have 3 straight at home. First game on Wednesday, coming up against Concordia. Point Loma following after them, and then Chaminade of Hawaii to complete their 3-game homestand after today's game. As we have a substitute, we got Alexa Estridge and Urado coming back in, and coming off is going to be Capri Goldsmith and Tana Singley. So just a quick breather for those two, as Tori Page was like, me a break? Can I have one? But nope, no sub for you, miss. As Tori Page is wide open, let's see if they give it to her, and they do, but a poor pass on the play results in a Lancer throw-in. Maybe it's the time of the day for the Trailblazers. Maybe it was just a little bit too early for them. I'm sorry, a little bit too late. They usually start around noon, 1 o'clock. This one, of course, starting at 4:30. And that is something that I learned throughout my high school experience, is that whenever it was Christmas break, fall break, the weekends, whenever we had practice, we would always have practice at the same time. And that was 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Because not only was then that was when most of our games were played, but that's when our practice was. And to keep our bodies in that same routine of doing the same thing around the same time, it makes it easier. It makes it easier on your body, as that one's bouncing around the box and crawl. I believe that is Nicole Rahman. No, Vogelsberg. Vogelsberg running into the goalkeeper, Escobedo, and Escobedo telling her to get off of me with the shoulder nudge. Mac to take the kick. But as I was saying, if you keep doing the same things around the same time, it's going to be a routine. And your body's not going to feel any different come game time. And I don't know exactly when our soccer team practices, but maybe, and I know it's a little bit harder because, classes are all day. You have practice 5 times a week, multiple practices per day, but maybe that is a factor here, as it is 8 past the hour. As that is Bailey Kroll towing it up to Urado, and Urado's looking out wide, way up there, and Vogelsberg trying to get to the ball, and she gets to it, saves it in. However, that is Mac kicking it out for a Trailblazer throw-in. Dun 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 dun. And it's front flip Mertz here. Let's see if she can get another opportunity, as she has been doing all season long. Such a dangerous weapon. Now, she does have 1 more year here. She is a junior. As that one's right in the middle, and possible shot here. That shot goes straight to Escobedo, as that is Shelby Christensen, the senior, getting the shot opportunity. It was a good look. Nobody was on her. Connect right, and that's in the net. As the Trailblazers looking for some answers. As Hadley drops it back to Tar, Christensen heading the ball back and forth. As that's Ramirez tripping on her own feet, and that's Dow with the long shot again, looking for that magic, and no dice this time. As Hadley gets shaken up on the play, Tar to kick it away. As that is a header by Ramirez. Once again, Urado there to flick it on, but just a little bit too much, as Escobedo's there to pick it up. Urado pressuring Escobedo to pick the ball up. gamesmanship. As Estridge back into the game after what it may have seemed like a concussion protocol, but she seems to be okay as Hadley gets the ball, looking for someone to pass to. Kicks it up the near sideline. Back to Estridge. Back out to Paige. Paige looks out wide. Finds Jill Bennett on the sideline. And we'll see that speed. And she's inside of the box. Kicks it in the middle of the goal. And Murdoch is there. Flicks it back over. And that one goes in. And a great save by Escobedo once again. Man, a golden opportunity missed by the Trailblazers. You think that would have been in the back of the net if Murdoch hadn't slipped up. As we are reaching the 27-minute mark here in the first half. And Bailey Kroll kicks it up over to Urado. Urado drops it back to Estridge. Estridge tries to reach Murdoch. No dice. Back on the far sideline. Kroll drops it all the way back down to Tar for a switch. As Tar kicks it back up to the midfield. Tries to hit Bennett. Doesn't do it. As that's Romero looking out wide to Dow. Dow trying to look for another long shot. Passes it back out to Romero. Romero gets the shot. Deflected. But not a problem for Tar. She quickly throws the ball out wide right to Paige. Paige looking for that long ball to Jill Bennett, and her speed doesn't quite get there. That last run by Jill Bennett really reminded me of the Gareth Bale play against Barcelona in the Spanish Cup a few years ago, where he just totally burned the defender. And that's what it reminded me of right there. Jill Bennett getting the outside leverage and somehow coming away with the ball, almost coming away with a goal opportunity. As Urado is fighting for possession, gets beat around inside of the box. Murdoch there to pick it up. Back out to Paige as string of passes. Paige takes a shot! And it is right above the crossbar. However, Escobedo did get a hand on it as she is pumping up her defense. Step to it. Don't let those shots happen. As that goes out for a Trailblazer corner kick. Another opportunity for the Trailblazers. They're getting the shots. They're just either going right to Escobedo or they're just off. As Hadley to do the kick. She sends it in. Urado's there. No one's on it. Gets kicked out. Lancers successfully kick the ball out of the box. As Mertz misses, but Hadley's right there. Oh, and nearly gets taken out by Miranda Martinez. As Escobedo taking her 8 seconds. As given. And that's Estridge there again with the header. Jill Bennett trying to do the stepperoo as Paige is looking for somebody. Doesn't quite get to Murdoch. As that's Bennett once again dropping it to Hadley. And Hadley doing another long ball. As Murdoch is there to receive it but doesn't collect it. And that one is booted away to the far sideline. Kroll is there to start things off again. Beats a defender. Passes it off. Trying to get a through ball. Nobody is there. And Escobedo once again gets to it as she just keeps the ball at her feet until an attacker pressures her and forces her to pick it up. Haley Whelan for the Lancers kicks it out wide, loses possession, goes straight to Tori Page, and Hadley's looking for another long ball, and there's Jill Bennett. She is onside. She's out wide, and that will be kicked out of play by the defender, Christian Engel. But however, it looks like it might have been deflected for a Lancer goal kick. And we do have subs coming in. Taylor Claiborne and Cami Hunter back on the pitch. And coming off is Jill Bennett. She looks mighty exhausted. She has been running up and down. And Tori Page also getting a little bit of a breather. Taylor Claiborne listed as a forward. Maybe she could do a little bit of magic out on the right side. As Mack kicks that one out for the goal kick. As that is a foul against the Trailblazers, against Christensen for holding on to the jersey. And that is a yellow card being awarded to Christensen. Now, probably just for holding the defender back from getting the ball, but there was no advancement on the play. The play wasn't moving forward. A second yellow card issued towards the Trailblazers. As Mack to take the kick from midfield. Kicks this one back in. People falling over and a shot on the goal, but however, it is over the net for a Trailblazer goal kick. As Rebecca Romero, the one to do the shot on the net. As Navarro kicking it back out wide to Halden. A through ball goes through everybody inside of the 6 and no one is there to pick it up. As Hunter just kicks this one out of any trouble as that goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. As we are at about 13 minutes left in the match and refs calling for time. Don't know what the situation is down on the field, but it looks like it could be a... Nope, it's still going to be a throw-in. Oh, he was telling the scoresman to change the time as there is a man wide open on the left, and that's Vogelson. Vogelson couldn't quite get a shot on the goal, and Lancers once again get it out of the danger zone. The clock was originally at 13:02, and the ref went over and said, "This needs to be on 12:32." And that's exactly what they did. Now we're back at the 12-minute mark. As that's Christensen fighting for the ball, and Mertz is there as well, and that goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in. Fatigue starting to become a factor between these two teams. So we get to the 80th minute, and that's a shot and not on frame. As that was Estridge. As we do have a substitute coming in for the Lancers. Hoku Afong coming back into the game. And the Lancers taking their sweet time doing the substitution. That's Rebecca Romero coming off. As that is Mack doing the kicking once again. A bunch of flicks, and there is an attacker right there, and that's a shot on goal. That would be Lanai Navarro. Trailblazers got away with a tug on the jersey there. Refs didn't see it, but potentially stopping a goal scoring opportunity, and the ref sees that. That's a red. Lucky break here for the Trailblazers as that one gets skyrocketed over the right crossbar. Kroll takes a step and beats it. And that's another through ball onside, and that one's in the back of the net for the Lancers, and that is Miranda Hall, the 5'7" sophomore. And there's just too much space in this Trailblazer defense. Everywhere you look back there, there's just somebody in space being at the right place at the right time, and it's just good positioning by the Lancers and not enough communication from the Trailblazers. Coming into this game, the Trailblazers have only allowed us 7 goals all season, and they've allowed 4 today. So very good preparation from the Lancers as they have taken a 4-1 lead here late in the game. And maybe it's time to start playing your role players, as this game looks to be a little bit out of a reach. I've seen crazier things. They're just trying to be realistic here, as there's a 50-50 ball here on the sideline. A little bit of a shove from Kamey Hunter. It goes out for a Trailblazer throw-in, as we do have a sub coming in. We got Jill Bennett and Kylie Lamb coming in for Christensen and Taylor Claiborne. As Jill Bennett wins that ball back again, sends it in the middle of the field straight to the Lancers, and Hall is there sending it back out to Martinez. Martinez sends it out wide to Afong, and Afong one-on-one with Hadley. Afong with a shot on goal, one hops it to Tar, and Tar picks it up cleanly. A little bit extra mustard in that one, as that one gets one hopped, and Murdoch is there putting the pressure on and deep in the Lancer defense territory, as Mertz running over to do another late throw-in. Another deep throw-in inside of the box. And there it is, into the box. Get the flick on. And that goes out of the box for another reset for the Trailblazers, as Mertz tries to get that over and successfully does. Gets the ball back, sends it back into the box, and too far for the Trailblazer. As we are winding down, we got about 8 minutes left in this one. And in football, if you're up by a substantial margin, they call it garbage time, and it seems to be the case in these final 8 minutes of this one. But the Trailblazers are not done trying yet. Trailblazers still trying to string some passes together. That is Hunter on the outside, one-on-one with Jacoby, and Jacoby wins the possession and kicks it up to Afong, and Lamb sending it over to Bennett, and Bennett tries to get it over to Estridge. However, Bennett hustling, getting the ball back. Bennett needs to pass, gets sandwiched by 2 defenders. However, Vogelsberg on the outside on the far side, trying to beat the defender, gets her on the cross, sends that in, and however, Mack is right there to stop any danger. Vogelsberg with the tricky footwork, getting the defender with the crossover. As we have subs for both teams, we have Torrey Page coming back in for the Trailblazers. And we also have Haley Whelan and Camille Ramirez coming in for the Lancers. As Kamey Hunter trots off the field for the Trailblazers. As Mack does the kicking once again. And that's Vogelsberg taking to the middle of the field, looking for the through ball for Page, but too much on it, and as that goes out, or a Lancer throw-in. Don't forget to stay with us for part 2 of our broadcast. We have the Dixie State men's Trailblazers, undefeated. It looks to be staying that way too, as they're 7-0 on the year, going up against Cal Baptist. And hopefully we get a better result from the men's side than we have here in this game tonight. As you do see some of the men on both teams watching the game as they are about to take the field for their pregame warm-ups, as that is Urado making a play and out for a Lancer throw-in. As frustration is on the field from every single Trailblazer right now, and you got to think that it messes with your head. If you can't get along with your teammates, you're not going to win very many games, and you're not going to be very successful, as we saw Murdoch just now showing hand motions and I wouldn't say scolding, but more constructing Bennett on where her position needs to be, but she doesn't look like much of a happy camper right now. As Hadley kicks it out of her own box across the field over to Vogelsberg, as Kroll makes the runaround over to Urado, and that one gets deflected off a Lancer in for a Trailblazer throw-in as Kroll plays it quickly. As referee calls time, and wondering what the conversation is this time, as it looks like we may have a jersey malfunction of some sort on a Fong. She runs over the sideline and Rebecca Romero comes in immediately. It looks like she may be bleeding a little bit from the turf, and of course if you have any blood showing, you immediately have to be subbed out and get it situated, and that's with any collegiate sport, to protect the players. As that one is sent down to Romero, who is listed as a defender but playing up top, as that one gets sent into the middle, and Martinez is there off the volley, and no dice as it goes out for a Trailblazer goal kick. As that is Navarro there with the ball, looking. As Urado deflects the ball off into the Lancer territory, sends it in the middle, and nobody is there. Urado getting the ball back, but Mac just smacks it out of play, trying to get her defense to come back. Dixie with so many opportunities in this game, but however only coming away with that lone goal, only to be scored on possibly 45 seconds later by the Lancers. Just a series of unfortunate events for the Trailblazers, and they're still playing hard out there as the ref doesn't see a foul there and says play on. As the referee kind of shields off Whelan right there, but however, referee is considered part of the field, so if you do pass it, it does hit the referee, and it's part of the field. The referee is supposed to make his or her best ability to try and avoid the ball or the player, but in that case, denied, as that is a foul against Vogelsberg. And that's for a Lancer free kick. And at about the 88th minute mark here, and Lancers look to take their fourth in a row, as they're on fire right now. And the Trailblazers, this will be their second game dropped in a row. And a couple more days before they hit the field again, and maybe a couple positioning changes needs to be taken place. It looks too much like long ball, and especially at a collegiate level, it's not going to be very successful. Sure, you can try it once or twice a game, and that is a shot at Vogelsberg that goes wide, and no dice as Mac takes the goal kick once again. But the Trailblazers playing a 3-4-3 lineup for the most part, having the two outside forwards, having the two outside wingers, and then having the two midfielders. And that formation is extremely effective if you have 3 really good defenders that know how to space themselves and wingers that can come back, they can play defense, and that's a foul going up against Jacoby, and Jurado's on the ground as Hadley kicks it over, and that is a penalty awarded to the Trailblazers as Murdoch gets pushed on the play, and the ref awards no card there. May have gotten away with a little bit of a dive there, but nonetheless, it is still an opportunity for your Pac West reigning player of the year, Darian Murdoch, as she tries to put away and make this at least a 2-goal game. I'm going to go ahead and say she goes left. And she goes right, and it is blocked by Escobedo, and Murdoch is there to pick it up, and the Lancers make another defensive stop, and what an excellent game from Escobedo. I give her the game ball. Yeah, Felix has 2 goals, 2 little blooper goals, but man, Escobedo has made some amazing saves for the Lancers, and she gets my game ball tonight. She has made a one-on-one stop. She's made a penalty stop. She's punched some balls out. She has been everything for this Lancer defense today, and all the credit needs to go to her. As the Lancers walk away with their 4th straight victory, going 5-3 on the year. Dixie's drops their 2nd in a row, dropping to 6-3 on the year. And the Lancers giving Escobedo their applause. She played an amazing game. And the Trailblazers looking a little sad, as this has been their worst loss of the year so far. And they are dropped to 2-2 in Pac West play. Their next home game for the Lady Trailblazers is not until October 19th at 4:30 p.m. against Hawaii Hilo. Don't go anywhere, though. We do have the men's game following after, and however, it won't be me calling the game. It actually might be if my partner doesn't show up in time. If he doesn't show up in time, then I'll be more than glad to call this game. But however, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in to our edition of Dixie State Women's Soccer. I'm James Guerin. Have a good rest of your night.